But yeah, man. Now we're here to talk about Skeleton Crew episode 3. So yeah, man. I'll get your opinion first, Eric. Like when the credits were rolling, what was coming through your mind?
Man, that
What?
was like I'm really into it now. Like it's like I want to see what's the next episode. Kind of like I'm enjoying it. I'm like whoa, this is way better than anything that's come out this year for Star Wars. So yeah, I'm down, bro. I'm fucking ready to see the next episode and enjoy. Yeah, I was enjoying the show. I enjoyed the episode. Like there's a lot of intrigue, mystery, and new things to find out, and new characters too.
Mm.
That was kind of cool. So yeah, and the character and yeah, the top the main characters as well. Starting to learn more about each other. And it's funny too. Our main character, William, is like he wasn't really taking the full. He wasn't in the front all the time. He was like kind of like in the background. And that was kind of different too. It was like Jude Law was taking the reins for him for this episode. Yeah, no, I like it.
I mean, have you like Kelvin? What was going through your head?
I'm invested because I watched it. You know how we were talking about it in the last podcast, and I was kind of disappointed. And then when I listened to your guys' point of view and talking about how it's like they've gone back to their roots of making it a kids kind of adventure. So I really enjoyed it. Like say when I was like invested. Like Eric was saying. Can't wait for the next episode because I'm looking at with those lens.
Yeah,
It's like this is cool. Like it's an adventure, like kids adventure.
yes, it's an adventure. I was looking for the word.
Yeah, so yeah. What about you, James?
Man, just like you guys, man. I really enjoyed the say, and you're right. I'm invested now because this episode 3,
Yeah.
hit the ball out of the stadium, man. Because
I don't, bro. I don't.
I mean, 1 and 2 were good, but this one, man, that like sets the tone of what we're gonna see throughout the series now. Because we've got all the characters in place now, right?
Yeah.
Jude Law's finally here, and he's with the crew, and they're on their sort of journey to find their home. And then now we can go ahead now. But man, what I noticed when I was watching this episode was not only how good it was, but how I didn't really need Star Wars stuff to be in it to make me feel like, man, I'm watching a Star Wars film. If you know what I mean? Because it had everything else that we grew up with. Like we spoke before last episode about being a movie like in the 80s, like the Kids Adventure.
Yeah.
Like the Goonies and E.T. and all that kind of stuff. And, you get all of that. And that's all you probably need for you to enjoy it and feel like it's a really good film. And you didn't quite need all the Star Wars stuff. And I say that because when the moment near the end of this episode, when the X-Wings show up.
Yeah, bro, that was bad.
But that's the first time I thought that's bad, but I didn't really. It's like I didn't need it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in the Star Wars universe.
That's right.
Yeah, you're just watching them.
Yeah, because of the adventure. Because these characters are really cool to be with. Like and for me, it's the writing. The writing's good because each of these kids, they are kids. There's nothing to tell you otherwise. There's nothing different about these kids except that they are kids in this world where they're sort of innocent, right?
Yeah.
And you see it all the time until they get into trouble, until they get into a conflict, and then their thinking gets tested, right? And then that's when they change, and it all makes sense, right? It all makes sense, and that's more intriguing to me than waiting for the next Star Wars sort of thing to show up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like if I think about Mandalorian, what was cool about the Mandalorian is that the story could suffer a little bit because I get to see some stormtroopers, I get to see some TIE fighters, I get to see the Star Wars stuff, and it's so cool that if the story suffered a bit, I don't have to worry because I see all the stuff that I'm really into. It's a space. It's like Star Wars. It's like action. and all of that kind of stuff. Like we said before, it's a Western in outer space, and that's what we got. And I think with being a kids adventure for Skeleton Crew, I'm in 100% in the kids adventure part of it, and the Star Wars is extra now.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm really involved with the kind of like the story. Like you can take all the Star Wars out of this now and just have a space movie with these kids and trying to find them home, and take all the Star Wars stuff out. It would still be a good film. It'll still be a good story. It'll still be a good series to watch, and that's why I love it. Right? That's why I love it. And I just noticed that as soon as when I watched it the second time, because I watched it the second time today, and when this X-wing showed up, I was feeling, okay, why am I feeling like I'm not thinking that's cool to see the X-wings? I mean, it's cool, but I'm not going, oh yeah, because you know why? Because the story in itself is the best part of this whole series.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So yeah, I'm like, that's why I'm invested. I'm invested in the story.
Very hard.
And I feel like the Star Wars stuff is all like extra.
Yeah.
It's a bonus. It's a bonus.
For me, when the X-Wing showed up, it was a bonus. I was like, whoa, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the story could fit into any kind of universe. It could be a Marvel universe. It could be, you know, it's like you're saying, it's an adventure. And you're following the adventure. That's your
yeah.
It's good writing.
Yeah, and that's why I thought I'm thinking of different things, because when I actually thought of the past stuff, like I thought of the Han Solo film. That wasn't really good, and this is way better than that already. It's only 3 episodes in. It's better than Acolyte. It's probably better than all the action stuff, right? Because this is more in tune to what it's supposed to be, like the theme of it, the genre. It's the genre, right? It's the genre. It's in outer space. It's Star Wars, but the genre is a kid's adventure.
Yeah,
and
it's always been that.
And yeah, it's like it's cool. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's really cool, and I can't wait for the next episode to come. And yeah, man, that's how I felt when the credits were rolling.
Yeah,
I was thinking, man, this is can't wait, man. I'm excited.
It's funny. No, you carry on. No, because I was gonna say because it was funny. I watched Yellowstone, right? And then I was like, oh man, on a down buzz, because the last episode I watched sucked. But then when I watched Skeleton Crew, I was like, oh man, it was like a big, massive pick me up. I was like, wow, I really enjoyed that. That was fun. So I was like, man, and I even told my brother that he's gonna go check it out too. So I was like, man, it's a good program. So yeah.
Well, you guys are 100% right in. Like, this is how invested I am. Usually, like movies like, say, like for example, Deadpool versus Wolverine. Like, I didn't go to the movies to watch that. I waited until it came out onto Disney Channel.
Yeah,
like, I'm a huge Wolverine fan, like huge, like massive. He's like my favorite Marvel character, hard out. But like, usually with stuff like that, like I always jump on Wikipedia and flip and look up the plot, and like hard out. And man, honestly, I'm so invested. Like, I'm resisting the urge to go onto Wikipedia. Like, even like trying to remember I had to like Google, man, what were the kids' names? Because like on the credits, they don't show the kids' names; they just show the actors' names. So I'm like jumping onto like the internet to look for the kids' names, and then I see the Wikipedia search come up. So I'm just like quick in, quick out. Like don't read it, just get the names. Don't read the synopsis of the character. Just in case there's flipping a spoiler in there. Oh, yeah, no, 100, man. 100%.
Yeah, boys. Yeah, man. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into the scenes and characters and some spoilers. So if you guys out there haven't seen the episode yet, suggest you push pause on this podcast, go watch it and come back and then listen to us break this down.
Yeah.
We're gonna do some spoilers right now.
Yeah, hard. We gotta break it down. Yeah, man.
That's how we do it. Okay, this is the WesWes What the Hell Happened recap Here we go. Season 1, Episode 3. Very interesting as an astrogation problem. Directed by David Lowery. Written by Christopher Ford and John Watts. On Adson, Wendell, Farah, Neil's mother, Numa, and KB's parents, Marie and Gary, are told by a security droid that due to the kids going past the barrier, it is out of the jurisdiction of the droids. Jod helps the kids escape the bridge, but they refuse to leave without SCM-33, forcing him to go back and rescue him. They outwit the pirates and escape. Vern refuses to trust Jod. Wim and Neil are convinced that he is a real Jedi, and KB reluctantly admits that he is their only hope of getting home. Jod takes the kids to a moon to meet his friend Kim, who is a map expert, but that even he doesn't trust. Kim refers to Jod as Crimson Jack, before revealing that Adson is among a series of legendary planets that have been protected themselves with a barrier. She prints the coordinates, but Jod realizes that she was stalling for the Republic to arrive and forces the kids to flee. Jod finally admits that he is not a Jedi, but agrees that they must work together to get what they want and escape the authorities to the next destination. When X-Wing Commander Kent asks where they went, as Kim states, "If I told you, you wouldn't believe me." And that was your WesWes. What the hell happened? Recap. All right, boys. Favorite scenes? What was yours, Eric?
Probably when they were on the planet traveling, walking to Kim's base. How they parked the ship up and they were walking, and they had the background with I think it was the moon in the background.
No, it was not the planet. Because they were on the moon.
Planet. Yeah,
they're on the moon of that planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the other planet that was in the background. That was probably one of my favorite scenes, and just man, it was just done really well. And X-wings when they were flying around, and also the part where they were getting into the nuts and bolts about the planet system, Etten, how it was. She had a theories that it might be like she was getting the information from the kids, like they were telling her about it, and she was slowly trying to piece together, trying to figure out where this planet is. That was pretty neat too. A couple of scenes there. Man, it's quite a bit.
Have you seen Rebel Moon? You know the beginning of Rebel Moon when they have that scene with the planet in the background?
Yeah.
It's not that same scene, eh? So I wonder if it's stolen from that. Which is pretty cool. Mm.
Yeah, that makes sense. Man, that was just so cool how they're on that planet. It was whoa. Unless it's not Tatooine.
Yeah.
So I guess in saying that there might be some you might be able to see some other other different types of planets in the future by the looks of it. If they get off the track where they're supposed to be going. That could be fun too.
Yeah, and I noticed a few things I had seen. I noticed when they're flying to the moon, and they were just going across the craters and stuff. Did you hear the score? It sounded like one of those Space Invaders Martian kind of films. Reminds me of those old school science fiction movies.
Yeah.
So my first scene that I really enjoyed was the scene where they're like running away from the from the pirates, and he kind of and like old Jude kind of like pushed Neil, you go pilot, and then Fern and Woman like into the sort of the gun turrets and like that, and so that kind of gave me like that old. Do you remember the old school movie Flight of the Navigator?
Yes. Is that the one with the boy in the alien ship?
Alien ship. It kind of gave me that kind of feel, like that feeling where that boy in the, because he's, oh my gosh, I'm in the, So you got Neil behind the wheel, and he's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? And just steer the jet, and then you get the reaction of Woman, Fern when they pop out in the turrets, and they're like, whoa, and next minute they're like, pew, 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 pew. they just, you see them, they just randomly shooting the guns like anywhere, eh? Like little kids, eh? And they kind of gave me that. Because I remember that. I can't remember like the full movie, but I just remember it just brought that memory of Flight of the Navigator, and and the kid finds the spaceship, and then he becomes one, like gets in the spaceship, and it's like whoa, and he's like flying at all these different, It kind of was like that.
Yeah, Yeah, I forgot to mention that because that was one of my favorite scenes as well.
Yeah,
And just
and it
man,
was
there was a
like
bit of action there. Eh?
yeah, and then the funniest thing is that through them going pew 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 pew, they
Yeah,
accidentally because he's like what's his name Crimson Jack tells them don't hit the ships, just make them be scared to
yeah,
to
but they
attack
end up
us.
hitting the ships.
Yeah, and they hit the ship, and then the X-wing fires back. Eh?
Yeah, and it's like, oh
Takes
shit.
out one of their what do you call it engines. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was my favorite scene, just for that. And then the other favorite scene is the one where KB has that chat with the owl Kim and
yeah,
the owl looking character, and then Kim's like telling me trust yourself, truth, and it's kind of like you see more of her
yeah.
character.
Because that kind of it kind of coincides with what she's all about too.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
KB is all about that kind of
yeah.
stuff.
She's like
And I think the
the honest
owl,
one, eh?
yeah, and Kim sees that. Eh?
Yeah.
I actually thought Kim was like a Jedi or something when I first saw her.
Well, that's what like you said, because I checked out. Because even on Disney Channel, on the poster for Disney Channel, like you see her there, and
Yeah,
and you kind of think that she's a Jedi because she's kind of got like a Jedi robe and like the
yeah,
belt, like a lightsaber would sit in, like. So yeah, nah,
yeah,
I totally agree with you, and like when you first saw her, you're like, oh, she's a Jedi, you know.
yeah. That's what that. Well, you look at her uniform. I wouldn't think there would be a uniform
Mm.
for a librarian or
Yeah,
yeah,
like an archive. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
like a.
I actually thought it was somebody like that's the actual Jedi. It's almost reminiscent of that
Mm.
uniform she's wearing. Now that was a good. That's a good scene to mention too. The pirate scene and the
Yeah,
scenes when they're trying to escape the X-wing.
yeah,
Because it showed them finally working as a teammate. They're
yeah,
finally kind of not really trusting Jade. I
yeah,
mean, Chrisman Jack, they don't really trust him,
yeah.
but they trust
Well,
him
they
enough
got no
to,
other
okay,
option. Yeah,
yeah, because he's an adult, so
yeah,
you gotta listen to the adult. He's telling you what to do. No, that's a cool mention. What other mean things are there? There's quite a few, eh?
yeah. There's heaps, but you can tell. Like, what was your like? If there was a character in that episode that you kind of invested in, like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, you can kind of tell that they're gonna be part of the movie, but you know, don't know how they're gonna be part of the rest of the journey.
Yeah.
Which character would that be
Shit.
so far?
It's pretty, like Chrisman Jack, like Thing's character, yeah, he's pretty good. But I think the one I gravitate more to is probably Fern
Mm.
because she sticks to her guns, and she's like kind of this like kid that's trying to be an adult. There's like I don't know. She says what she thinks. Like if
Mm.
she sees that something's wrong, she's gonna say it's wrong. That kind of stuff. Like even she didn't even trust Chrisman Jack. Like she's like
Nah.
she's like nah. I get funny vibes. Even KB's kind of
Yeah.
on the same buzz. But yeah, I think I gravitate towards Fern a bit more,
Yeah.
just because she's more onto a character, and I kind of lean towards those more onto it characters.
Mm.
Not the one that's mucking around playing video games or still trying to figure out what's happening and everything's happening around him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think my favorite character would be the one I'm more interested in will be Fern.
Yeah.
What about yours?
I like KB. I like that.
Yeah.
I like her. Like they really brought her out this episode of that because you
Yes.
saw she spoke up a bit more, especially that scene where like they're all following Jack out of the prison, but then there is the moment like she could have followed them across, but she stopped. Hey,
Yeah.
and they're like going, "Oh, come hurry up!" And she's like, "Oh no, they're gonna see me." Like it was like she did that on purpose. Like she kind of like second guessed herself following Jude Law's character.
Yeah.
And then just like I said, that scene between her and Kim, and then like she speaks up more, and like then maybe start thinking about her, and then there's a moment where they're all of us asleep,
Yeah.
and she's the only one still awake, and she's got her visor on, like like looking at him, but then like, and it's like, I'm still awake, motherfucker. It's like, I don't trust
yeah.
you, like, and something with her advisor must like be like, hey,
Yeah.
that she can see. That's maybe it's like an aura thing, like I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
yeah, like when like in I think it was the episode 2 when he when he breaks them out of jail, like earlier on at the pirate place, you could see right off the bat that he was all shit.
Yeah,
And then Ferdinand that already kind of guessed it. But
yeah,
Wim was just like, oh my gosh, he can use the Force. He
yeah,
must be a Jedi. But then when he finds out that he's not a Jedi, he's just this guy that can use the Force, he's like, oh, what? I thought you were a Jedi.
yeah.
Yeah, bro, you just got tricked, man. Yeah. See, it was funny too. Wim took her back in on this episode, and
Yeah,
it was Chrisman Jack that was kind of in the front,
yeah,
and KB, and yeah, it was more like KB and Chrisman Jack. So I
yeah,
hope they take turns.
yeah. Well,
You know,
me too. Like
kind
each
of
episode, you
rotation.
see more of a particular character, especially like out of the kids.
Yeah,
Like I'm interested in seeing where Neil, comes out. His character fully
yeah,
shows. There were little glimpses of it. Hey, when he takes control of the ship, and I think there was another scene, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But
yeah.
like you
He's the
can't.
guy. He's the kid that if if it's not safe to do it, he's gonna say, "Nah, we can't. We shouldn't be doing this."
Yeah,
He's that kid.
yeah. He's that character that when fucking ship comes to, when the ship goes down, and there's that one, like everyone's looking for Fern and Women
Yeah.
KB, and like he'll just come out of nowhere and like be the man, like yeah. All right,
Yeah.
brother. Should we talk about some of the scenes that kind of got us thinking where the story is going to go to next?
Yeah, it's funny you should say that. Yeah, because it's like man, yeah, a good scene is probably right at the start
Yeah,
with with the parents in it, and they're trying to figure out how if the droids can get their kids back,
yeah,
thinking that I think they're guessing that the kids didn't pass the barrier because it looked like they didn't know how far the kids went. They probably
yeah.
thought they just went around the planet or some shit. But as we know, the kids left the barrier and they actually took off from the solar system completely. So I think I don't think they were aware of what happened until they get the news from the droid. The droid comes in, and then states like, "Hey, the kids have passed the barrier," and then we don't have any. We're not looking at going to get them, kind of styles. Like pretty much that's what they were saying, right?
Yeah,
And like, oh, to keep this planet safe, we're not going to go get your kids. Somehow they're going to have to find their way back home, kind of thing. I think that's what they were suggesting. And I think that the parents were getting it.
yeah,
And even when we start that, it's like, ah, shit. My son's like, how many light years away from home? How's he going to
yeah,
find his way back? If he can find his way back.
yeah,
So it's like, what the hell is going on? What is up with this planet, man?
yeah.
So what did you get from that scene?
From that scene was when they're interacting with that droid, and then they go, "Oh, the safety droid's back," and
Yeah,
then the safety droid goes, "Oh," and then the safety droid tells them, "Oh yeah, nah," and then consulted with the supervisor. Hey, and
yeah,
I was like, "Ooh, consulted with the supervisor. Who's the supervisor?" And it kind of like took me back to our last podcast, and how you and Cams were mentioning how um
yes,
droid heavy this what do you call it, that planet is.
yeah,
So it's like thinking, okay, so they're the humans and they're getting told by the droid, hey,
yeah,
what's up. It's like, oh, so are the droids in charge of this? Like it's kind of like, yeah, it's got me thinking around that. And then also, what Cam's pointed out in the group chat was that painting in the background, of that scene, and it had like I don't know, like a. Do you remember the emblem that was on the bag, Fern's bag?
Oh, nah, I can't remember it.
Yeah, so it was like the picture of an emblem, and like it was like inside of a sun, and like the rays were pointing out, and then you see a lady in white, or a character in white, and then there was like a man, and then there was like an adult version of Neil. There's like an alien, the alien with the long neck, and it's got like almost like eyes like E.T.
The one that kind of goes over like that.
Yeah.
You got the eyes on the.
Yeah. That person, and then I had someone sitting down. So like if you go back to the group chat, you'll see the picture. So that got me thinking too. So then like in that scene, so what like that must be like their a cultural motif or something like that, for their society, if that makes sense. Must be like something that their society is based on.
Yeah. Shit, that's pretty buzzy. It's starting to get me thinking.
Yeah, man. Quite deep.
Yeah, because we know these guys are rich.
Yeah.
Because like when the pirate checks out the coins that Wim had,
yeah,
he's like, "Whoa, these are old Republican credits."
Yeah.
And they're like in good condition.
Yeah,
so he's like hard out, like, "Oh, where did you get this from?" So obviously they got they're wealthy. So what else is that place hiding there?
Yes. So yeah, that's what got me thinking on that scene in particular, is when she said, when the droid came back and spoke about the supervisor. So there's got to be someone. Hey, there's got to be like a.
Yeah, it's starting to make me think. I'm trying to go through, like, I'm thinking through my head in the Star Wars universe. Who can have that kind of power?
Yeah.
There's I wouldn't say it would be a Sith Lord.
Yeah.
If it was, I'll be very shocked.
So I had another spin in the week, say, with a different scene. So do you remember that scene where like Jude Law's character goes back to save with the SM-33?
Yeah.
And he goes into those and he like turns on the droids to find out which one is SM-33.
Yeah.
So then he turns on the communicator droid. Remember the one that looks like C-3PO?
Yep.
And then he turns on and he goes, "Save the prince! Save the prince!" And then he turns him off. And then he goes to the battle droid, turns on the battle droid and goes, "Did we win? Did we win?" And then he ends up falling apart. So when I heard that, so it's like, and then you then go back to the opening scene, and when I was talking about that motif, I was like, I'm sure these are connected, eh? I'm sure these droids, and you think about it, the pirates have been looking for Aaron,
for ages.
For ages. Where did these droids come from, eh? Does it come from their search? Eh? Like, are they like leftover? Like, I don't know, but got me thinking. But then I also got me thinking, are they Easter eggs? Like, are they like droids from old?
Yeah,
older?
the battle droid is definitely a droid from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, hard.
Most definitely is from the Clone Wars. So that's an Easter egg right there. The C-3PO one.
Yeah.
Because they use those for communications. For
and they were like the what do they call them?
Translators.
Yeah, translators, and they were part of the like the dignitaries. When you take to go to another planet or something like that, they always had a communications droid with them.
Yeah, because they need to communicate what's happening. Like, if they go to a council or something, they need to know what's happening going on. So and those droids were in service for that.
So it got me thinking about that. Like, save the prince.
Yeah, so that's what makes this episode like, man, it's like, oh shit, what's up with this planet? What's going on? And how come it's a mystery and the pirates are trying to find it? And why can't anybody see it? They can't even check it on their systems. It's like the fog is protecting the planet somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know whether if I ever seen that kind of in Star Wars before in any other story. And I've been thinking through it. I haven't heard of that apart from the I think it was episode 2 when Obi-Wan, when he went to Camino, the planet where they did the clones.
Oh yes, yeah.
For the because the Palpatine already kind of went on the back line and did these clones for an army.
Yeah.
But the planet itself didn't show up on any of their solar system maps.
Yeah.
So I don't know if this.
I wonder if it is.
if that's the same kind of thing that they've done here. But
Yeah.
you can see this green fog as they interact into space,
Yeah.
and apparently that green fog is the barrier. So when they get out of space, they're in space, they're in deep space. So it's
Yeah.
like, oh,
I wonder
so
if that
yeah,
planet was part of the. You remember the scene when they get to Kim and she
yeah,
pulls out that old map and it had heaps of planets on it?
yes,
I wonder
yes,
if that clone planet was one of those planets.
yeah.
And it makes me think, hey, the Empire. The Empire. When you mention it like that.
It might have been one of those collection of planets, or probably could be something entirely different. But
Yeah.
it's a possibility.
Because she says the Old Republic, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
So the
And
Old
some of these
Republic
planets
to
were,
me, my understanding is like episode 1, episode
yeah,
2, that counts Republic, eh?
yeah.
So you had
Old school
Palpatine in
Republic.
there, and now this is set after. When is it set after? The Empire Return of the Jedi.
Return of
Yeah.
Jedi.
So yeah.
So the same time frame as Mandalorian.
Well, Palpatine, Palpatine. He's my man. I like Palpatine. I like Palpatine.
Yeah, Palpatine's the man, bro.
That's the man.
He rigged it from the inside out,
He's
bro.
the home wrecker, bro, of Doom.
No, bro. He was so infamous, like he effed up the Jedi from the inside out, and on top of that, he gets a mean ass apprentice.
Yeah.
From the Jedi, from the actual Jedi.
But he was molding him.
The Jedi's were changing.
He was molding him. If you go back and watch those episodes too, just the way he talked to, why? Question, why do you have to hide your love for what was
exactly.
He was like, and if he understand the Sith, the Sith loved emotion.
Yeah, they feed off it.
They feed off it. They embraced it, whereas the Jedi didn't.
Yeah.
Reminded me of Indiana Jones, like the mystery side of it.
Yeah.
Because in the beginning of Indiana Jones, before he goes on his mission, they tell him what he has to look for, and then behind that, he knows a story about the background of that thing that he has to go for, and it's always like a supernatural kind of thing, like the wrath of God, or it's like the Ark is the wrath of God, or it's like it's like the cup that Jesus drank from, and so he knows the background stories of these myths and legends, sort of thing. So I think Eton is the myth and legend, right?
Yeah.
But it's perfect because these kids don't know that it is. These kids live there, but they don't know how special their planet is until they go out of it and they go into the real world, or the galaxy, so to speak. And then they get clues of when they ask where they're from. They tell people where they're from, and then people are like, "What the hell? That's like a treasure chest or something like that." It's like something. It's like a myth.
Yeah.
And they're dumbfounded. They don't know what's going on. Like oh my gosh. So as an audience, we know as much as the kids do, even though they're from there. So it's kind of working our way backwards. It's kind of like the planet is the treasure that Indiana Jones is trying to look for.
Yeah.
So the information that the kids get is information that us as an audience get too. So we're going along with how the kids learn, because they don't know, and we don't know either. But the kids are from there, right? So it's like a reverse kind of, it's like a back to front mystery.
Yeah, but we're on the journey.
But we're on the journey too of the kids, because the kids are actually from the mystery. They should know, but they don't. The parents probably work for whatever it is there, but they don't know what the bigger picture is. But they just work there. Because there's that scene when the kids are talking about their parents. Oh, my mom's an analyst. What's your? Yeah, my mom's an analyst too. And they all got these like, that sounds like government's sort of jobs, right? What are they analyzing? And then they look at the gold credit. This planet is from the Old Republic, and they just missed everything. They missed the whole empire, because there's another clue. When she tells Kim that at school we learned about Ogeron and Coruscant, and Kim goes, Ogeron. Oh, so you missed the whole war as well? And he goes, what war? So they still think Ogeron is still there, but that means they don't know anything about the empire.
Jeez.
So they're from the Old Republic era. They still that planet is hidden since the old Republic time.
So you saying that planet is from the time from episode 1?
Episode
Republic.
1
Before
and 2.
episode 1, it's the old Republic time. It's before
that.
Acolyte. It's the old.
Oh, so when you say Old Republic, it's
Old Republic is before Acolyte. Acolyte is at the end of the Old Republic.
Holy shit!
So that planet is actually they're hidden from the galaxy for a long time.
Yeah.
So we realize when Wim he's playing with his Jedi toys, he's talking like the Jedi is there's heaps of them. That's how he talks. He's talking like, oh, that's a Jedi. They're like he's talking like there's heaps of them. But he doesn't know that there's only one.
I told you, Eric, this guy will come up with different angles.
I missed it.
Yeah, I told you, man. This guy. I said, man, we can't carry on with our games because he's got angles on angles. This guy. I was like, Charlie, I like my rabbit holes, but you got angles.
Yeah, man, you got angles, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah. So
you got your
yeah, that's not a clue. Now, Jude Law's character, he's a Force user. He's not. He's not a Jedi. So, there's Force users out there, but they need to go to get some training to become a Jedi. But man, it's just cool that this planet, and I want to hear more about this planet as we go along. Like, why are they hiding themselves? And looks like there are other planets too. They're doing the same thing, but they all got destroyed for some reason. And there's that one planet left. But there's other clues too. There's like the work they call it. They call it the work, eh?
Yeah.
The work. So what work is it? They need analysts. The kids are trained to grow up and become analysts or do something. But it's the great work, right? They call it the great work, and it's something to do with treasures, with all the pirates think it is. It's something to do with those credits. If Camino was a planet to create clones, maybe this is a planet that creates the credits.
Money.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
But who are they funding?
Don't know.
Shit. Could be the Republic.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's other things that haven't been revealed yet, like the supervisor. Yeah. So, and this is what I liked about the show, that's why it gave me all the Indiana Jones kind of vibes, because it's the mystery. It's the mystery of the treasure, of whatever it is, and the way the kids are used in this film for us. Yeah. It's like staring us right on our faces, but we don't even. But it's like the kids should know. Like, we're as frustrated as the pirates and Jude Law, because the kids don't know shit, right?
Yeah.
Because come on, kids, you're from there. What's going on? And we don't know. We just want to go back. And Wim, when they say, what's the difference between your planet and the rest? And Wim goes, I don't know. It's boring. See, it's like they don't even. Yeah, it's like frustrating.
And then it goes back to our first episode of our podcast about the naivety of these kids. Like, it's really shining through, eh? Man,
so that explains why Kim was fascinated with KB's answer. Interesting. It's a can of worms. I want to go back to the storybook that one was reading to. Like, I want to have a proper look at it now. There must be something in that as well. There must be some kind of Easter egg in there.
Yeah.
If it's about the history of the Jedi, I wonder what actual story he's actually reading is. It can't be about Skywalker.
No, it's not. Yeah.
He doesn't even know them.
No, it's still... He's still thinking about the galaxy with these heaps of Jedi.
So Jedi,
yeah.
So what story is he reading?
Sith.
He's got Sith in there too, so it must be...
So...
it must be way before. Yeah.
So,
shit.
And the Sith were... What was it? Now I'm going to do my research now.
Yeah. Is this during the time before the Rule of Two, when there's heaps of Sith too? When there's heaps of Sith and heaps of Jedi?
Yeah, the Old Republic, it's mean storyline.
Yeah. So it's funny because we've lost like Acolyte. They've cut off Acolyte, and that's our connection to the Old Republic. Now we've connected to the Old Republic again with Edson or these kids, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think Acolyte was meant to be our chance to see a younger Palpatine in action, but we never got that chance.
Yeah, that's right.
He's my man. I love that guy, bro. Palpatine.
one thing I want to do for this podcast is talk about the characters and ask you guys like character, the evolution of the characters, if there's any at the moment. I mean, I think when we talk about Wim, he's probably still the same. He's still in this fantasy world. He's still smiling and laughing. Yeah, he's still smiling and laughing when he goes into the gun. Even though it's like serious business, like you're gonna kill people. You know, you're actually shooting at people and killing them. Like, and you're like thinking it's a video game. So I think when it comes to innocence, like we talked about before, like last episode, then he got his innocence. He hasn't been sort of traumatized by anything yet, right? He still thinks it's fun and games.
Oh no.
So I said he was kind of annoying as a character, and I think I give him a pass now because the way he is, like he's a kid. So you can give him a pass for that, eh? Like he's doing what kids do anyway, right?
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if one of these episodes, there's something real serious is going to happen, and he's going to realize this is fucking not a game, man. It's life and death.
Yeah.
He better like take things seriously, otherwise you're going to die for real. You know, and it's like, will we get to that part in the series? I don't know. I think with Neil, he's the same. He's the KB version of. Yeah, he's the KB version of Wim's mate, but he's still a little kid, eh?
Yeah. He's a bit more childish, but he still has that thing in him where, no, we can't do that. That's too dangerous.
Yeah.
We should be doing this. We just gotta go home, you know.
Yeah.
He's on the same straight line, kind of, but he's still kiddie.
He's the conscious, he's the other.
Yeah.
He's the angel on the shoulder. Well, you know, and Wim's got the devil on the shoulder, sort of thing. So
he's the innocent one, you know.
Yeah.
What I was saying to Eric about Neil was that he's that character, like you kind of waiting for his big moment, you know, like because of his innocence and his like standoffish, you know, like he's kind of like almost like a scaredy cat kind of character. And I'm trying to rack my brains out. I'm trying to think like back in our days, you know, like when we were watching kids movies, especially like with the Goonies, you know, and like, you know, those movies with groups of kids and they always had different personalities. So I'm always trying to rack back, you know, like what's an example for Neil? But he comes across to me as that character, the real. He's like sheltered, you know, he's been in a family unit, you know, you know, they show it in, you know, mum, dad, sister, you know, he's like real sheltered. It's almost like he's a church boy. And then all of a sudden he's going nightclubbing.
That's right.
It's not like we grew up like that, you know. But
hey, that's what happened to me.
I think what epitomizes a character like Neil is that scene when they're trying to escape. When Jude Law's in front and the kids are walking behind and they walk and then there's that fight happen at the bar, that fight.
Yeah.
And there's a crowd and then they will walk and then
and
then Neil just turns around and stands there to watch it.
Yeah. He's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And Christmas Jack just comes along, hey, hurry up.
Just moves them the other way.
Yeah.
Like 360 him and then continue
that's
walking.
His innocence, you know, like it's like wow, you know.
Yeah. And that's the crux of this whole series, the kids, like it's so fun to watch them, and it's so fun to watch them interact and interpret the reality of the world that they're in. Like it's so like if you think of your own kids and like thrown into this world and lost, like you can imagine like I don't know your kids running around lost in the viaduct at 1 a.m. on a Saturday night, on a Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'll be like losing my shit, man. I'll be absolutely mental.
Yeah. Jude Law's character is kind of like already he's sort of like had this agenda in the beginning, and now he's underestimated these kids, because now they've made a deal with him that I don't think he'll keep. He just made a deal with them to get out of there. His main goal was to get out of that moon before the X-Wings come arrest him. So, you know, he'll say anything. So he has to deal with the kids. But it's like, I think he's going to be more wary about these kids now. is not as easy as you thought. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because the kids have their ultimate weapon on, backing them up, the SM-33, and he's
It's like he
oh,
sticked them
shit.
out on the ship. He just went, he was like,
Yeah, he's like popped
and
off
what are
his
you
chest.
gonna do? And then he's like, the pointy finger on his chest, like put him in his place.
I was
But
cracking up at
interesting,
that.
you mention old what's his actual name? Jod Nanawud.
Yeah,
Hey,
John
that's his-
Manawat or Crimson.
Yeah.
What Crimson?
Yeah,
Chrisman Jack.
Crimson Jack.
because there's that scene where they want him. He wants to get on the ship. He wants to escape, but it's kind of like that's the moment where he's like, oh shit, nah, these kids aren't fucking around.
Yeah,
And like he can't make up shit.
yeah.
The kids will smell it.
Yeah, that's right.
So when he's like, when they go, well, I'm just like you. I'm lost. And it makes me think. And I thought I thought when all the Jedi's got killed and the kids in the temples, they all.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like thinking, I wonder if he's one of those. Is he that got me thinking. Because in that moment,
Right.
you kind of see a little bit of honesty, because he's desperate, and he knows in that moment those kids aren't going to take shit, so he's got to be honest in that moment, he's vulnerable now.
Yeah, that's a good take. Sure, he'll be one of those younglings, When all of 66 happened, then he's probably one of the younglings that escaped. Just like the black girl on Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She escaped.
That's right.
So,
she escaped.
That's a hard, good take on it.
Yeah, that's good take.
Oh, mate, like I said, man, I like digging my rabbit holes, man.
We spoke about the story, The story's fine, The story is doing what it's doing.
Yeah, it's moving forward.
It's like it's the adventure. So the next adventure, next episode, I guess, where they're gonna go. So
another planet.
Only 8 episodes, so we only got 3. So there's 5 more left. I'm not sure if we're gonna end up at Edson at the end, or we're gonna continue to series 2 or whatnot. So it'll be interesting.
Another thing that got interested me about old Crimson Jack was that he didn't recognize the ship, the ship they came from. So it must be and he didn't recognize the knife. Like he just saw a dead body. Oh, nice knife. Take it out, put it in my belt. So that was kind of interesting to me. So I wonder if it's like, and then you had that scene like, I'm lost, and I'm like, oh, there can't kind of be some troops in here,
Yeah, because all those, all the bodies in that ship, right, where the kids are, all the pirates were dead.
Yeah.
So he killed the pirates. They didn't kill themselves.
True
I don't know whether it was the people on the planet.
Yeah.
The one thing I hope this series doesn't do is give us more fucking flashbacks. Because I want them to learn from Acolyte and not have any flashbacks.
Yeah.
They're not good at doing flashbacks, bro.
Hopefully they'll tell the history through the present time.
Yeah.
Even Yellowstone did a bit of flashbacking than these guys can, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, Acolyte just killed the flashback concept. It just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Do a flashback, you don't do it twice. Show the same exact thing. Ah, damn it.
What do you guys think is going to happen next episode?
Man, there could be a zillion things. Well, they're heading their way back home, so maybe they might crash on another planet. I haven't seen their ship refill about where they were at the pirate base, so don't know if they got enough gas. Might end up somewhere else. Might see some more Easter eggs. I actually thought the X-Wings that we saw in this episode were part of the same squad that was with the Mandalorian, and I thought we might see the Asian pilot again, but we didn't get that chance. So I'm just wondering if that's like the same kind of squad that was chasing the Mandalorian or working with the Mandalorian. Sorry. So I don't know if they're going to see any future references from the other Star Wars shows. So that'll be cool too. But I like where it's tracking. It's looking really, really good, and I can't wait for next Wednesday. Get into the show again. And like I said before, I might have a deeper look at Wim's storybook, see what's happening there, see if there's any clues, like you said, with the Old Republic. That's really, it's got some alarm bells going off. So, yeah. No, it's more of a mystery now. It's like, fuck,
Yeah, mystery
Mhm.
adventure.
am I giving myself some homework to do? Well, what the fuck? So it's like, damn. Yeah, I'm keen.
How about you, Kevin? What's your predictions for next episode?
Um, I got a feeling that because before they jump, right? Before they jump, or before even they leave the moon, they got that card from when Kim does her like what do you call it thing, and then that gold card pops out and it's got the coordinates, but you don't know what the coordinates are. You don't know if she's done the right thing and found the planet, or she's just because she was trying to get the rebels in there. I mean the X-wing. So she was like, what do they call it? Stalling. Hey, she was just
Yeah,
stalling.
yeah.
So you don't know
Yeah.
if she's actually being honest. But then if there was one thing, like when they had that chat, Kim and KB, and she was like telling her, always look for the truth or something like that along those lines. So, shit, where was I digging this rabbit hole? But yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah, just KB, and like when that's right, and when because she's the one that's doing the navigation. Remember, you see her put the gold card in, and then she does her calculations, and then boom, light speed they're out. And
Yes, that's right.
and so then for my predictions, I reckon she's got something to do of where they end up the next episode.
Yeah, true.
Either her or Kim has done something for the coordinates or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So might be another. Yeah. Might be Tatooine.
Shut up, man.
Hope not.
I don't mind Tatooine. I'm all good, but also Cam's man, he hates it.
Yeah, I think
Add some water with that sand dunes.
It just reminds me, how that Tatooine reminds me of Dune, the planet Arrakis.
I think I think on that disc there's a number of planets, and I think they're gonna check them all out.
Yeah.
And that's when you see the different adventures.
Yeah.
I think what's his name? Brutus. Brutus and his boys are gonna be hot on
Yeah.
the trail too, and they'll
Oh,
probably fuck shit up too. Like they'll probably find them and kidnap or steal the card thing, or something might happen,
Yeah.
and they have to go battle them to get it back, or get one of the kids back. I think later on down the track, I think one of the kids is gonna get kidnapped, and they have to go rescue that kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's enough here for us to think that Jude Law is gonna stab the kids in the back somehow. He used that expression when he on walking on the moon. He used that expression, stab in the back, as a metaphor. But the kids were like, "Huh? What? No, I was just saying. Oh no, you guys will get it when you're older." So
yeah.
That's right. That's right.
yeah. So I think there's gonna be a situation. I don't know what it's gonna be, but he's gonna betray them, and then he'll realize, then he'll save them, and then he'll say sorry and all that, and then that's the arc of that redemption arc will happen. So
supposedly.
Yeah. I don't know if we're gonna see. And I think that betraying part that will test the innocence of especially Wim and Neil, because they look up to him as a Jedi. Or they probably know he's not now because he admitted it, but he's a Force user. But they'll still respect him in a way. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they go. But yeah, man, like I think next episode they're just gonna explore another planet. Sort of turned into Star Trek, eh? Explore the frontier. Explore different planets.
Who's the family that gets lost in space?
Family Robinson.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that. Even that's a pretty mean show too.
Yeah.
You ever watched the remake, eh? Like
I did.
The
liked
Netflix
it.
one? Did you?
It's Lost in Space, eh?
Yeah.
Solid, man. It's pretty mean.
Seki voice.
Yeah.
Yo.
Do you reckon we're gonna see a bit more of this? They must do. They must. We'll probably get to see more of the Eton from the parents. Hey,
point of view.
Point of view. Like they did in the opening scene, eh?
Yeah, well, man, because it looks like Wim's dad knows something. Like he's aware.
You
know, he's aware of the. he knows more than the other parents.
Yeah.
Like the other parents just look like he's just normal parents, but Willem's dad is definitely, he's probably with the higher elites, and he knows what's going on and what they're researching with the great work or whatever they call it.
Mm.
So he's probably aware of how severe this could be for the planet, maybe, because if they're not willing to go out there and save those kids just on the output that somebody might find their planet, bro, that's definitely hiding something big.
Yeah.
Mm.
So what it is, I have no idea. It could be all those credits. It's like, holy shit, that's a lot of credits, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we know how big Edson's going to be in terms of their place in the New Republic,
Yeah.
and if the New Republic even knows about this planet. Like if it's something that was made and hidden in the old Republic times and just lasted all these years, someone forgot. Someone forgot, and so it's out of the history books or out of the out of the plans for anything.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. And these
Where
guys.
did we misplace the 10 million credits? Which planet?
Yeah.
Or billions of credits?
Yeah. Another rabbit hole is that post you posted up on the group chat of the photo of the motif in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You was
And-
tell about it.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to explain to Eric what the motif looked like. But then there's also that scene where when Kim brings out the map and you see the planets, but if you look, you pause, you look underneath, there's another motif underneath that chart,
Mm.
and it's got like a person, almost like a Jesus,
Yeah.
like with their hands out, and it goes to those planets, and then you got like worshippers.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shit, true.
yeah. I like digging my rabbit holes, man. I like looking for these. Yeah. Oh. Conspiracy.
I'm looking at the picture now,
Yeah.
and it's. I don't know if you guys remember Rebel, the animated TV series, Rebel Wars.
Mm.
It's looked like it's the same kind of storyline with the. I don't know if you've heard it. The father and the daughter and the son. The son is a dark force user, and the daughter is the light force user. Like she's like Jedi, and the father is trying to balance between the dark and the light. And apparently these guys are really super strong, and this is what it looks like, kind of.
Oh,
It looks like the same type of thing. I don't know if that's the case, but
Is it on Rebels?
yeah, Star Wars Rebels, where Anakin ends up on the planet, and
Oh, you mean Clone Wars?
it's in between planet. Oh yes, Clone Wars, sorry. But these guys end up merging with Star Wars Rebels because the same kind of storyline. But anyway, going back to the painting, it's kind of similar to that. But yeah, it's fuzzy. Could be the same storyline. I could be wrong.
Mhm.
Mm.
Man,
It's
it's
just-
super interesting though.
Right, it's
Since we've
just
been talking about it.
it's like you said, Cams. It's really like these guys have really done some homework. They must have, learned from the acolyte, and just went, nah, let's go to the beginning. And I like your angle, like I like your angle that we know just as much as those kids about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool. And then
Yeah,
that's
right.
how we're getting told the story.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
And it's creeping our interest. It's like, Sully, what the fuck is it in? And now I'm digging all these flipping rabbit holes trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And it's
But,
just
but that's the brilliant part of the story is that
yeah,
we're frustrated because these kids are from there and even they don't know,
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's like,
and we're like, fuck, man.
yeah.
You should do.
And it's like, and I was just like, and I'm like looking all over the place. Pause. What's that Easter egg? Oh, pause. Oh, what's this one? It's cool. I'm really enjoying it, man. Really enjoying it.
Yeah, I can't wait for the next episode.
Mm. So, boys, on that note, that's us for another episode. I'm sorry about my technical difficulties, man. I gotta do some lot of editing, but it's all good. Yeah, man. We'll check out next episode 4 next Wednesday,
Yeah.
and we'll
Yeah,
jump
I'm keen,
we'll
bro.
jump back on the podcast and do this again. Thanks,
Yeah.
boys, for jumping on.
Yo.
Thank you.
Good night, and see you, Kelvin. See you tomorrow on MT at the Clip.
Yep.
boys.
Another one. Yeah.
Have a good night.
Fast with what?